really seemed like Hurts had a clean pocket and he kept bailing to the right. Is that something that you kind of noticed?
I can tell you for sure that Hurts, who's always had a tendency to bail from clean pockets, probably did it far too much last night. And yeah, there were certain plays in particular where it really stood out. I thought it was noticeable early that he started to drop his eyes and look at the rush, and that is an absolute no-no for a quarterback.
I just could not get over the alignment of the D line and also just the absolutely abysmal pass rush. After watching the tape, I mean, is it worse than it looked like on TV?
The D line played poorly for the second week in a row. They were very poor with their run defense. They could not stop the outside zone run game by the Falcons. I mean, how many times did Robinson just get clear through the first level of the defense? And they generated no pressure on Cousins, basically no pressure the entire time. Jalen Carter has really been a non-factor in 2 games. And the problem is when your so-called best players don't perform well, you've got a problem.
So I don't know if you see that on the tape or what you're noticing about Dallas Goedert, but I think him not being involved in the offense is just getting to him to where the point where he's not going on go.
I think the pass game was incredibly sporadic. I think for the most part, Jalen Hurts does not work the middle of the field very effectively. And I don't think he's comfortable throwing the ball there. I think we all thought, I know Adam did for sure, but I think we all agreed that Dallas Goedert would be a big factor last night without A.J. Brown. One thing you have to remember, and I see this with other quarterbacks who are not consistent quarterbacks in terms of playing within timing and structure, is very often receivers that we expect to do well don't do well because the ball doesn't come out with timing and rhythm within structure.
This reminded me of the Seattle game. The defense melting on that 2-minute drive where it was just easy money going down. Why is that happening?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think you have to look at each season because you have a new coordinator now. So I don't think it relates to previous seasons, but I looked at every play and I actually wrote down what happened on each play. And, there's reasons, Frank, why each play happens. The first play, Cousins actually made a great play. The second play, which was Mooney, 21 yards, that was a rookie mistake by Quinyon Mitchell. Okay, you're in a situation where they have no timeouts. And it was basically what we call a smash concept. So they were playing cover 2 and he jumped the flat route. Why you would jump the flat route in that situation, again, it's a rookie mistake. He should have sunk with Mooney on the corner route. The third play, Mitchell playing off coverage, was beaten by Mooney on an out route and then made it worse by missing the tackle, giving up 10 more yards, and he allowed Mooney to get out of bounds. And then he hit Cousins hit London on the delayed out cut in front of Mitchell. They clearly were going to Mitchell on this final drive.
I kept hearing today everybody saying that the players weren't open. Okay, that's my question.
That's the automatic reaction when the quarterback leaves the pocket, that there must be nobody open. Now, I've been watching tape since 1992, okay? And I can tell you that 80% of the time, that's not true at all. Okay. But I mean, 80% of the time, there's somewhere to throw the football.
So Greg, on that, did you feel like Hurts? It sounds like you felt like Hurts broke himself down last night.
Oh, he did many times. Yeah.
That's
Hurts,
not that.
Hurts did not play well last night.
This is by the way, this is a real problem last year, and you saw it in this game. Was it, Greg? Week 1, was it a problem as well?
A little bit. Just think how many times you've seen him in the last 2 games run out to his right.
Once they buckle down in the red zone, it seems like they're actually really efficient.
You'll be right about that, Brennan. The defensive backfield has played really well in the red zone. You can see it. It's all zone. They do a really good job of passing people off and matching up. And don't forget the field's tighter, so there's less space. But they have done a really good job in the red zone in their zone concepts. There were a number of times where Cousins truly did not have a throw.
On these ineligible man, and it looked like they were during RPOs. It's just a timing thing from the offense.
The premise of this of an RPO, and it happened on the second play of the game, which I found very weird because you assume that they practice that. But the timing of an RPO is such that you're obviously either handing it off or you're literally throwing with 3-step drop timing and even quicker, which means the ball's coming out ideally in like 1.3 seconds. So offensive linemen should not be downfield if that's executed properly. I think they had 3 or 4 calls. They were not all RPOs, but yeah, I don't think I've seen that many in one game.
You guys are awesome. Thanks. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it.